News broke yesterday that Chris Cornell, the lead singer of Audioslave and also, of course, Soundgarden, had passed away. He died in an apparent suicide, and we're still waiting for more details on this story. But what's interesting about what occurred is his statement from his wife, which was just released today. His wife, Vicky, says that there was no reason that he would commit suicide. He was happy. They were planning a vacation during Memorial Day weekend, and that this whole incident completely shocked her and the rest of the family. Now, Cornell had a troubling telephone conversation with his wife, Vicky, in the hour before his death, where he admitted to taking an extra Ativan or two and was slurring his words. You know, he was in Detroit touring on, he had just performed a concert. And he called and it sounded very strange. And so she was a little alarmed and actually called his bodyguard and wanted him to check on Chris Cornell just to make sure that everything was okay. The bodyguard shows up to the hotel room, the door was locked. He tried to get security at the hotel to open the door, but they refused to do so. And so the security, his bodyguard just decided to kick the door down. Then he proceeded into the bathroom, which was also locked, proceeded to kick down that door, and then found that Chris Cornell had hanged himself. Well, he put an exercise, I don't know what they're called, one of those exercise tubes around his neck.
The concert goers said that he also was acting strange, and they could tell there was something wrong. At least some of them have said that at this point. And apparently, and look, I don't want Ativan to sue me because I'm not the expert on this, okay? But at least Rolling Stone is reporting that if you take too much Ativan, there's some chance it makes you suicidal.
Well, there are side effects, just like any anti-anxiety medication, there are side effects. And so Ativan is known for having that particular side effect, especially if you're an older patient who's using it, but only if you take too much. So this is not something that's unknown. People do have paranoid or suicidal thoughts if they don't take the recommended dosage. And in this case, his bodyguard had given him 2 Ativans, and he had told his wife, I think I took too many. The victim takes it for anxiety. He's also a recovering drug addict. We know, or was a recovering drug addict. We know that as well. And drug addicts have taken the drug to help deal with some of the side effects. Or the withdrawals, I should say.
So look, man, it's tough for me to say because I'm not a recovering addict. I don't have anxiety, but I just feel like people take too many drugs and there's so many side effects. I don't mean illegal drugs, I mean legal drugs, prescription drugs. And I don't know, so I'm not saying with any degree of certainty, don't take it to the bank and talk to your doctor about it, etc. But that's a really, really bad side effect if it's true. Really bad. Yeah, sure. And what's tripped me out about it is that it's, even if you're not normally suicidal, like you don't, clinically depressed, instead of the other factors, and all of a sudden it triggers it. Jesus, I mean, how much, like the thought of how much a drug can change your brain in that moment, that's what's freaking me out.
I won't comment on his condition or drug use. It seems as though perhaps he was familiar with the drug, so much so that he was aware that maybe I've taken too much.
Right.
I'm a fan of Audioslave, so it's just sad news.
I know it is. It's incredibly sad, and I think one of the biggest issues that we're experiencing as a country is this thought that if a drug is prescribed to you, then it must be safe, right? We've dealt with illegal narcotics continuously being demonized, and since a lot of the focus has been on illegal narcotics, it's this weird thought or subconscious thought that, hey, if it's prescribed by my doctor, it's safe. But you have to be careful with the dosage. You have to take the recommended dosage, and you have to educate yourself on all the side effects. You become, I think once you get prescribed, sometimes you just become a little less careful, and you just have to be careful.
Yeah, look, man, I don't know. I would approach prescription drugs with great caution.
Sure.
And I think even more so than some drugs that are illegal. You tell me prescription painkillers or Ativan or whatever, it doesn't mean, I don't mean to pick on this particular thing. Again, I'm not a scientist, I don't know much about it, but But if you tell me any of those prescription drugs or a beer or a joint, I'll take the beer or the joint any day. Any day, okay? Because I know I don't have the addictive personality that's gonna become an alcoholic or the other one, right?
Sure.
But I don't know what the prescription drugs are gonna do to my head.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes you need them. I get it, that's why they exist.
Right.
But be careful. Lastly, yes, best concert I ever went to was not a Soundgarden one. No one even knew who Soundgarden was, at least I didn't. I wasn't cool enough to know. It was Guns N' Roses. And there was an opening act and they came out. It was around, it was in the winter time. And this brash, crazy singer was like, I wanna dedicate this song to a friend of mine who's got a birthday coming up. Jesus fucking Christ. And then they fucking rocked it. And I was like, well, who the fuck are these guys?
You went to a concert?
I know, that's the most surprising.
That's the takeaway.
You went to that concert?
Right.
Yeah. And every one of us was like, who the hell are these guys? And they're like, dude, that's Soundgarden. That's Chris Cornell.
Podcast The Young Turks anytime you want. tytnetwork.com/join.
I think it's weird.
No, it's not weird. In fact, you'll think,
I'm like a smart person.
do it now. tytnetwork.com/join.